Welcome back. It's the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and it's time to have a look at the Great Flinders Netball Association. Our correspondent is Alex Stratford in this league, and she's on the line with me right now. How are you, Alex?
Good, thank you. How are you going?
I'm going very well, thank you. I'm eager to hear about a very interesting slate of results from last weekend. Let's start out with the grand final rematch that you played in, Tumby Bay over Elliston Districts, 42-29. Slightly low scoring, but a good win by Tumby Bay to stay comfortably on top of the ladder.
Yeah, it was a very good spectators game in Tumby Bay last week. We had a lot of injuries, unfortunately, last week throughout the whole of the association. Mentions to Courtney Hull and Charlie Murnane from Elliston Districts. We hope they have a speedy recovery. But it was overall a very good game to watch. Like you say, grand final rematch. So well and truly the ball was back and forth, and both teams fought very hard for possessions. Shooters were absolutely on for both sides, could take the shots from anywhere. So it was very tough for the defenders in the circles, but nonetheless they worked very hard.
Good win there to stay undefeated by Tumby Bay, clearly on top of the ladder, and they are going to be very hard to beat come finals time. Very, very eager to hear about this one. United Yeelanna 80 over Lock 57 at Lock, and United Yeelanna, they didn't win a game until about round 8, and now they haven't lost since June. They are in some sort of form, and with 3 weeks left, they might just make a push for the finals. Didn't see this result coming.
No, absolutely not, but I'm very excited for United Yeelanna. This is a very good result for them. Unfortunately, they may have left their run a bit too late, and they've had a couple of injuries on that game as well. So a big shout out to Maya Glover and Alicia Skinner. They both have gone down and done their ACLs through that game. So very tough day out for Yeelanna, but managed to still peg that win, which is absolutely unreal. The girls for United Yeelanna were on fire down the defensive end. Jordan Yench, Lucy Wilkes, they absolutely dominated, as well as Rebecca Novikov. Lisa and Tanya for Lock worked really hard to try and get the ball into their attacking end. So, yeah, it was a very good team game, unfortunately for the girls that had to watch. Very proud of Yeelanna's efforts to try and take their finals chances, but with the lack of players now and having to pull up from A reserves, I'm just not sure what they're going to be able to do.
Well, that is a real shame, both for the girls who have suffered those injuries. We never like to see that, and that's very unfortunate for them. But also for United Yeelanna, they were coming home with a wet sail and may have just been able to make up the gap on Lock after getting that win over them to sneak into finals, but it will be tough for them now. And 80 points scored, let alone on the road, that is by far the highest score any team has put up in Great Flinders Netball this year. So that is just an extraordinary performance by United Yeelanna, and definitely a highlight of the season for them. And last game of the round, Cummins-Kapini 48 over Ayr United 32. Looks like business as usual between these two.
Yeah, absolutely. The margin was pretty similar to the other couple of times that these teams have met. Another big shout out to BJ Maroney. She unfortunately also has done her ACL. All the best with recovery. The whole team absolutely gutted. But it was another good team game for Cougars. They had very accurate goalies, Jack and Hannah Green. United tried to peg it back a little bit. The margin was up by 20 at one stage, but they've obviously worked very hard, made some changes, but Cougars were just in front throughout the entire game. United's Malia had a very good game in goal attack. I think that was probably a best game for the season they've mentioned. So it was very good for the attacking end of United, and hopefully they can keep up that reputation.
Gosh, it's no good to hear about all these injuries piling up. That is, shocking from all three games there. A bit of carnage as the season steadily draws to a close. So we'll be wishing everyone that suffered injuries on the weekend the best. And hopefully we don't see any more tomorrow. The Ramblers were on the bye. They're back in action against Ayr United tomorrow.
Yes, so Ramblers and Ayr United will face at Cummins. Last time these two teams were 44-27. So E United will go into the match with Caitlin Jefferson away, but possible matchups could be Melinda and Michaela Richardson, both leaders for their respective teams, so that'll be a good matchup. Or Melinda could also go into the midcourt on Caitlin Benny. Very consistent midcourters there and quite underrated, actually, with their skills. Elise Fatchin and Kira Simmons or Paige Darlett's there for the E United attacking circle. But all these players have been great for their team. So I think this will be a cracker of the match and E United just showing that they're not going to slow down towards the end of their season.
All right, interesting one as well between Cummins, Capini and Locke, sitting third and fourth, probably around similar levels. Who do you see winning this one?
Oh, I'm not sure who's going to come out. I think Locke will be looking to well and truly redeem themselves after last week's loss. But we're not quite sure on some niggly injuries that are going around for both sides as well. If Whitney and Tash are both out, I think it could be Cougars' game. But if Locke do have their full side, it should be very close. Hannah Green should match up on Whitney or Christy Zirk. And Lisa will be on Jess Vanderbroek or Brooke Nisbet. They'll be also a very good matchup.
Cummins Capini with 3 draws on the year, and the way you're sitting on the fence there, Alex, you might be tipping a 4th draw for them. And just a side note on them, they actually climbed to 2nd on the ladder after Tumby Bay beat Elliston Districts last week. So well done to the Cougars sitting in 2nd. And an interesting one to wrap up the round, United Yeelanna hosting you and Tumby Bay. Alex, obviously they're not at full strength like they were last week, but how are you feeling about this matchup?
Actually, we've been in touch with Yeelanna, with Alicia Skinner. We did offer to try and maybe do some boat races instead of playing a game of netball, just to, try and lighten the mood a little bit and stop these injuries from recurring. Unfortunately, so it's probably a bit too late now for United Yeelanna's case, but Ilka Stone, she will still be out for Tumby. She'll be playing the man addresses role, actually. But, it's mentioned here we'll have Hallie Paul, Brooke Traeger and Abby Cash filling in for United Yeelanna. So hopefully Cass and Sarah's niggly injuries can pull up for United Yeelanna and keep them going. Out this week will be Lucy Wilkes. She'll be performing Frozen in Port Lincoln. And on the bench will be Alicia Skinner, Maya Glover and Kate Hancock with their knee injuries. Absolutely gutted for them. And just hopefully these 3 that are coming up from A reserves they all are very experienced players, so they'll be able to slot in and do the job well. I think Summer Kay, she'll be a good matchup on Cassie. I imagine down the other end, Jordan Yanchin, Rebecca Novikov on Stacey and Maisie, and Marty potentially on Hallie Paul. So a couple of good matchups there, but I'm not sure what to anticipate to come out of this game.
Elliston Districts on the bye tomorrow. Good luck to everyone playing in Great Flinders Netball. Thanks very much for that, Alex. All the best tomorrow. We'll chat to you next week.
Thank you. We'll talk then.